Mashi, along with my panel of co-hosts.
Immortal Taku, 85.
And Captain Obliteration.
Ladies.
All right, guys. So what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing EVE Online. I've been gone back to the wasteland of Fallout New Vegas. To all of you out there who thought it wasn't that great of a game, it's pretty good on PC. Anyway,
Well, they should know better not to play a Bethesda game on the console.
well, they should know better than to not expect some glitches here and there.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, glitches everywhere. Let's face it, that's how it was on launch.
Like every other Bethesda product.
We got more glitches from when we got DLC from it.
You suck. Okay, I've been playing Sins of Solar Empire Rebellion. Good game. And also dabbling with Torchlight 2 still.
All right, cool.
Cool stuff.
Captain?
Captain?
I've been still playing Forza 4 a lot and going back to StarCraft for a while. Been playing some of the mini games that they have in there that are pretty fun. There was one interesting one that I got a chance to play with one of our viewers actually. A battleship kind of game where you actually customize your own ship and you take it out and you have to defend. There's like a mineral field or something like that, and once the mineral field's gone, you attack their base, which is kind of a neat game. It's kind of it was a neat mini game, I would say. But
sounds interesting.
other than that, those are the two I've been focusing on. How about you?
Well, aside from the usual PSO2 on my PC and the Vita, I also went back to play a few more of the classics again. Recently at the Gamers Exchange, we picked up ActRaiser and Final Fantasy II. So I've been going back into the Super Nintendo era once again.
He
to
tried.
re-examine my childhood once again.
He tried to pick up a what was it? A Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it's a Sega Genesis Model 1 box, the one that came with Sonic.
And here's the funny part.
And the funny
he
part,
didn't have enough money.
yes,
Yeah, go figure.
won the auction, just didn't have enough funds.
$25. That's all he had to pay people.
But we did get a video clip of him with the game, though.
Oh, yeah.
We put that on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube. For
Steel
anyone
is
to see.
broke. Yeah. And you can fix that by donating to the show.
Or just watch the YouTube videos. That
you go.
works too.
Yeah, that works too.
Exactly.
Please don't put on a ad blocker. We need it. We need the money.
Speaking of which, you can also find us on YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/gamersunrated show. Or you can just type in Gamers Unrated and we're the option at the top.
This is true.
Of course.
So, but aside from that, that's really all I've been playing. So, I guess you guys are ready to move on to the news.
Let's go for it.
Oh yeah.
It's been a real slow news week.
Yeah, it has been
Yeah,
abnormally
except
slower.
for Xbox, but they kind of blew that.
Oh man.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Let's move
Save
on.
the best for last.
Yeah,
of course.
gotta be.
But I think this first story is actually pretty good to start off on. Call of Duty has dogs.
We have a dog companion now.
Who does not love dogs and their screwy AI in video games?
Oh, yes.
Because
Fable being one of those.
I think
just
we
saying.
we all enjoy some dogs in video games.
God, you can't even say that with a straight face.
I can't because it's
No, you can't.
absolutely atrocious. It's like saying that I want to fire two triggers independently to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I don't need that. I want them each to do a separate thing.
Well, you know how that works. You can't always get what you want.
Yeah, even if you cry about it.
Pumpkin.
But to go back onto the topic.
I don't know what they're planning to do with this whole
I don't know how
dog
it's gonna
thing.
work.
but I think it's probably not a good idea. I
No.
think they ought to abandon this
Yeah.
before it catches too much steam, because this sounds like a meme just waiting to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The biggest problem that I find is that they essentially showed us all that stuff, and it was like none of it was new, none of it was groundbreaking. It was like, we're gonna up the graphics a little bit. You should have done that a long time ago, and we're going to like just add all this useless crap. That
Well, they have an excuse now, because now we're
next
moving into the
gen.
next gen.
It's bad.
We have an excuse to
It's
put it in graphics. We have to now. We can't just say, "Oh, well, we can't do it."
now
because
we're
of the limitations of the hardware.
Why can't I
legally
hear
having
us?
to do this? Yeah.
Why is it a little hard to hear?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe because you're
There
blind.
we go.
There
Yeah,
it is. That's better.
And because you're deaf. I could hear us perfectly.
It wasn't my fault.
Yes,
They
it
put
was
the
your
loud
fault.
music in my ears. When I
It
was
was
a
your
kid.
fault.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
can't.
entirely your fault.
Well, we should expect
always
this from
is.
our
we still
resident
have the
whiner.
music up at like small,
Yeah,
whatever, small levels.
All right. But anyway, moving on to the next story.
Oh, yeah.
EA has decided to change its stance on the Wii U once again. For those of you that remember, EA famously went out a week ago saying that they are not going to port many of their games over to the Wii U. Well, they changed that and said that they are going to
Really?
port them to the Wii U.
Wow!
So,
surprise, surprise.
Long time coming, much?
Impressive.
I mean,
Thoughts?
Absolutely impressive. EA, your business decisions are amazing. I cannot believe that you are one of the biggest publishers out because
I can believe it.
It makes me cry a little bit inside.
You want to know why? You want to know how
Tell
I
me
can
why,
believe it?
please. Tell me.
Because you can't always get what you want.
Thank you.
And
That
they
made no sense.
that was
Thank you.
inspiring.
They exploit the market.
Why aren't any of the publishers that great? Tell me that.
good question.
Tell me that. Why is it that the gamers that are like so we drive the gaming community and God forbid they listen to us.
They're not gonna
God
listen.
forbid
They
they
don't have
take
to.
out like constantly
ones getting
online
paid.
crap.
They still get money off the stuff they release.
So
Yeah.
What's their
I know.
purpose? What would be their purpose of changing anything if
If they
it
get
still
cash
makes
for
them
it.
money?
Yeah.
And they could take the
Business
easy
decisions
way
versus
out.
community, and when you stop supporting the
I'm not
community,
saying I like it, but
I mean, it's the way it is.
that's just the way it is.
God damn it.
This is funny. It's like therapy.
It is. It's very therapeutic. It's calming while it releases our anger in like a tidal wave.
Well, yeah.
We haven't even gotten to Steel's anger yet.
Oh no, that's gonna be a little.
it's-
That's gonna be a little later down the
It
list.
is
Fair enough.
quite monumental.
As long as you
'cause
show
he's
us this
been-
time, we're good.
He's been routinely screwed over since
Yes,
childhood.
quite often.
We're talking over each other a lot.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Meh, might
All
as well
right.
stick with it.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
move it on.
anyone else have anything else to say about EA on the Wii U?
I don't pity him.
I mean, this is
I
kind of
don't-
like obvious. I kind of figured, EA is one of those companies that, is going to release literally everything on every single console because they're looking to make the most money.
Yeah.
So them saying that they're not going to release it on the Wii U makes absolutely no sense,
Of course.
This
even if the Wii U is kind of still current gen.
current gen, yeah. But we're
Yeah.
almost getting to next gen.
Speaking of next gen, Sony released a trailer actually a few hours before the Xbox One release, and we actually have that for you. Let's take a look.
Let's check it out.
So, basically, they revealed what the console's supposed to look like.
Supposed to.
Lots of blurry pictures, basically.
So yeah, it's supposed to look like this, except it's pixelated.
Well, what do you think of that? Because that's kind of like, I understand from the perspective of, they want to get people watching the E3 press conference so they can see what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like one of those little kid things like, haha, you can't see it yet, blah, blah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where you have like your dog or whatever. You're like, oh, you want a treat? Hold on, like, how about half of a treat? Here you
Yeah,
go.
there
I'll,
you go.
I'll give you the other half of the treat later.
Exactly. There you go.
It's pretty bad. It's like saying that we're going to show you this awesome, this super awesome video, and that will show you everything you need to know, but you need special 3D glasses that you can only buy from us.
Wow.
And you can't watch it more than once without our permission.
Well, I will say this. I think it was GameSpot. They actually slowed the video down and took individual frame pictures of the entire commercial and broke it down to where it's like, okay, we can combine this part with this part and this part with this part, and this is what the console will look like.
Yeah.
But I don't. Chances are that was just a. And when June comes around, it won't look anything like that.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? This is what it looks like. It's not what it's going to be.
It's what it looks like today, but we don't know what's going to be in a couple days.
Because we're only going to solidify this once we get to E3.
Well, yeah.
At that point, they have no choice.
So that's kind of everybody, though.
True. But it's like you should have your ducks in a row if you're going to show something.
Well, I mean, Xbox didn't solidify the name for it up until.
True.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about that
what?
later.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah, I'm sorry for
The
that.
stupidity of Microsoft's decisions. Okay. Moving on. Anyone else have anything else to say on the
Nah.
PS4 reveal trailer?
Nah.
June 10th, for those of you that missed it on the video, June 10th, they'll have the live feed up to see it.
Ladies.
But anywho, going on with further news.
Moving on, the next, coming back to EA again, the former CEO of EA said that gamers will learn to love always being online
What the
in
fuck?
their games.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Learn
Yeah,
to love.
Okay, the first thing that I want to address about this is first off, I think you guys are a little confused as to how this is supposed to work. The business is supposed to market to us, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And EA is one of those companies that's like, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want, and there's absolutely nothing you guys can do about it because you'll still keep buying the games.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a parent saying, well, you know, you're going to learn to love school. Yeah, you know, I mean,
Like that ever. That never happens.
That never happens at all.
I'm telling you, it's exactly like that mindset. It's like, oh, you're going to learn to love school. And high school is even better, I've heard.
Here you go. You'll learn to love this hammer to the head. It only has to happen a couple million times for you to grow numb.
The feeling will numb after
You'll
a
get
while.
used to it after a while.
There's a
Don't worry,
slight
this is
change.
going to hurt me more than it hurts you.
We love you so much that we're going to do this for you, even though you don't want it to happen.
No, it's just stupid.
It is. It really
That's
is.
just how it
In
works.
true Steel styles. It's so fucking stupid! But anyway.
With that bit of a maniacal rage right there.
Yes. Anyone else have any other thoughts on the pretentiousness of this statement right here?
I mean, it's EA, and to me, it's like nothing new.
Well, yeah, it's nothing new, but this is like a new low.
Yeah, it is getting really low.
I don't think it's as bad as when Ubisoft was like 97% of PC gamers steal games. It's like,
But EA also said that too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but still, it's like we've hit the bottom of the barrel, and all we're doing is scraping out like the scum on the bottom, and it's just like
I know we are, but it's still scum
I don't.
nonetheless.
It's like I don't give a shit.
There's
like,
no bubblegum on it.
It's still scum nonetheless, though.
It's like
No
it's like
bubblegum on
gamers
shit.
are so routinely butt fucked by publishers that I'm just like, whatever.
So you're just like, so at this point, it's just like, oh, I give up. I'm just gonna bend over.
What is one man going to do with one wallet? You know that's what they're after. They're just after your wallet.
This is true.
And like they're not going to be.
So should we just bend over now?
You know what we should do? We should stop buying games. Is what we should do. Well, new games, old games. Yeah, keep going for that.
Like,
But
anybody's
it's-
really going to do that, though.
No, exactly. And so what can I do? There's nothing I can do except say,
You can
hey
bitch and
guys,
complain.
stop buying games. If
No,
you
I
think
just
they
want
suck.
I just want the clarification of okay, so we should just start bending over now, basically.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not giving them any money.
Says the
That's
whiner.
how you don't bend over. You don't give them money.
Well,
You don't cry either.
see how that happens.
Sorry.
So you're saying you should bend over and just not cry?
just don't.
Just
yeah,
you
take
bend
it like a
over,
bitch.
you'll be
Just
crying.
don't cry.
After
Straight
they're
from the mouth.
after they're
of course.
done with you, you will be crying. Let's just say that. Okay.
Just don't cry when you take it up the butt. That's
All right.
or they just beat you in the back of the head. Either one.
Or both.
Was it good
Both at the same time.
At the same time. There you
Make
go.
it hurt. Don't even use lube.
Nope, no lube.
Was it
nothing.
good for you?
Just hip to be square
And
in the
that-
background
yeah,
to
that's
drown,
exactly what they'll
drown
ask
out
at the
your
end.
boy's screams. Oh yeah, you remember this? Oh, boom, boom. Okay. Anyone else have anything else to say about getting buck fucked by EA?
Thanks for that theatrical
Thank
performance.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Yeah.
All right.
But to continue on.
Anything else on that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Moving on. Immortal Otaku about you tell us about Metro Last Light DLC?
There are going to be four. They've announced 4 planned Metro Light DLC. The first one should be hitting in sometime June, which is this upcoming month. That's pretty much it. And what do we think about it is probably the best question now.
I have one question. The game just briefly came out just a while ago, just a little while ago.
Well, yeah. Let me just put it to you this way. That's what marketing's all about now. Is you want DLC for your game within a month, and it's like
It's not
you
even
want
a
a lot
month.
of DLC.
It's just a sign of the times
Yeah.
at this point.
Milking the cows dry is probably the best way to put it.
Does not mean that any of us like it, to be honest.
No.
But
Well, I mean, it almost looks like they're just pushing these games out. And they're like, okay, if
that's
we
because they are.
at certain points, I guess this is kind of the nostalgic feeling that they actually took time.
That's
in
your
the
first
earlier-
problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know it's a problem.
You're using
but,
nostalgia to cloud your judgment.
but I mean,
No.
at the same time, though, I mean, games
says
were
the guy
made
with the
and you
Super
didn't have to
Nintendo
worry
in front
about
of him.
DLC at all. Will you let me finish, bitch?
No. Keep going.
Anyways,
By the way, keep going.
dick. But I mean,
You-
games should not have to be pushed out just like that, and within a week or so have DLC for it. It shouldn't be the case. You should have time to kind of enjoy the game fully.
We know it should be the case, but it isn't.
It goes by business, my friend. It's what makes us the most money. It's not what's good for the community. Although, when you have a system that focuses a lot on having a, because I'm pretty sure most gamers were technologically minded. We use social media if we do use.
He's
social
basically saying we're nerds.
What I'm trying to say is that
Just say the
we're an
vernacular.
ultra-connected gaming community, an ultra-connected community in general. So it goes to say what's good for the community would ultimately be good for a business practice, because what ends up happening is if one small minority is shouting super loud,
If that was the
everyone knows
case,
about it.
EA
Everyone
would
knows.
be broke.
True. But they haven't always been bad until like last 2 years, 3 years.
It's
Last-
gotten
I'd
progressive.
say about 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, you gotta kind of
they've been kind of
them and Activision have kind of been like at each other's throats on who's gonna win the butt fuck the community contest. They've been kind of taking first and second place for each other for a while.
Yeah,
But you
true.
are right, EA hasn't always been that way. But
Yeah.
even if it was really about the community, a lot of these companies would be gone by now. They'd be broke.
What I feel like it comes down to is it's more like market towards the casual gamers is the best way to put it. So when you have
Yes,
people
those
who-
casual gamers.
it's their fault.
You gotta get them.
It's not their fault. It's just like when you
No,
buy
it's not.
anything that is just allows you to connect with your friends and whatnot and all this like extra stuff that isn't needed. It's kind of like the people who aren't really in it so much for the game as like the community that fosters from a game, like connecting to a community.
That's interesting that you should say that, especially considering the other news that we have on here.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
a
interesting.
lot of connecting
Okay, well,
news.
Yeah,
We want to move on.
yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably
let's-
move on, unless
Let's drop it on.
unless Captain has something to say about it. I
Come
wouldn't
on,
want to
Captain.
dare
Come
interrupt
on.
him on it
Come
during
on,
his
Captain.
thoughts.
Hey,
Gotcha.
Okay.
No, I got nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, moving on. Quite recently, there's been a lot of theories about violent video games and how they're the destruction of Western civilization and they're poisoning our youth and our society.
because that hasn't been in the media.
Yeah, I
forever.
mean, take a look
Oh,
at
yeah.
us. We're just suffering.
Oh yes,
We're just suffering.
Yep.
we are going
we
out
are the
in
bane
the
of
streets.
existence.
We're going out in the streets and using a hatchet on everyone.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
that's
that's
what
totally how we roll.
that's what I learned from video games.
Yeah,
I learned that
exactly.
from Modern Warfare. Throwing
because we
tomahawks.
can't decipher between fake and real.
Oh yeah.
There are
Apparently.
there are people who do that.
Is
but
this really
it's
a
very rare.
microphone?
No, apparently it's everyone. No one in the game. No one that plays video games can clarify.
Oh,
Hey,
really?
hey, generalizing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
just a little
See,
bit.
this is
Yeah.
what it goes to say about marketing
yes.
and who it comes from.
But anywho, Kotaku wrote up an article about a professor in South Korea that, according to his study, violent video games make graphics cards run hot and emit more radio waves, thereby affecting the human body. Now, this is not only insane, but
Well, does he list the games he was using?
Well,
Because
here's how it says. His study reports that he revealed a game's graphics card temperature was about 36 degrees Celsius when idle.
When idle.
okay,
Yes.
this is
now
already,
the card's
this is already
temperature
stupid.
apparently increases to 45 degrees Celsius during a racing game. Now, he says after that, when a quote-unquote violent game was played, the temperature shot up to 57%. I mean, 57 degrees Celsius.
So he doesn't really specify what games.
He doesn't specify the fact that chances are the game that he described as violent has a lot more graphics.
Exactly.
So
A lot
it
more
heats
it
up
needs
the
to
card a
work
little
with.
bit more.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like saying, here we've got this kind of okay. Like, we don't even know what game he was playing. For all we know, he could be playing like a super old racing game that doesn't actually have a lot going on in terms of graphic wise. So what it goes to say is he could have used the most recent like shooter with all the bells and
graphics
whistles. Actually, probably Battlefield would
that
do
would
it.
that would have done it. Yeah.
Battlefield would have done it. Because there's so much going on that thing. Yeah, so it's kind of like saying that this apple is the same as this pineapple.
At this point, it's really much of they're really just grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what the media does. They'll pick something that.
But I even think some of the arguments that they're putting here have been
Excuse me,
nullified.
but you cut me off.
You're welcome. But I'm going to continue
I'm glad
anyway.
for that.
But some of these arguments have kind of been nullified a while ago, kind of like with the phones and stuff like that. With the phone scare, like, oh man, it's going to poison our brains, all the radiation or stuff like that, or all the waves that are going through.
Your electric toothbrush is going to kill you.
It's
Stay
going to
tuned at
kill
11.
me.
Actually, there is a little proof, but not a lot.
Your
Not
underwear
enough.
could be killing you. Stay tuned to 11. There you go.
It's eating your groin.
Yes.
Radioactive underwear.
Continue.
By the
But-
way, just wanted to throw in something. J.C. Fisher said, "Get your game face on and tune in now to Gamers Unrated live." So just wanted to give a
Thank
shout
you.
out.
Thank
There you
J.C.
go.
Fisher.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're all about the fans here,
Exactly.
and we're all about yelling and screaming as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you want your comment and tweet read, you can actually just tweet us right onto our Twitter page, and we'll read it live on the show.
Or capitalize, and we'll yell and scream your tweet.
There you go.
Exactly.
You heard it here first.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
Back
moving
to,
on.
So, are you done? Anything else?
I pretty
done.
much said it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on to the next story.
Okay.
E3, guys. 3 weeks.
It seems so far away, but I guarantee you the time's gonna fly by like crazy.
It's already flying by, to be honest.
Yep.
It's going to be quite exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be here before we know it. That's
Is
for
anyone
sure.
going to be watching the actual press conferences as they go on?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually took the time off without realizing it coincided with E3, and I will definitely have free time to lounge around and watch it.
All right.
Yeah. I'm definitely
Nice.
interested in seeing it again.
All right, sweet.
Again,
Again.
Yeah.
they're
should be
kind
interesting.
of different.
Well, I mean,
E3s.
like I saw.
I really hope it's more exciting than last year. Last year was kind of
last year was
boring.
kind of a letdown.
Well,
yeah.
considering we have the new generation coming
Yeah,
up,
that's
people are
the-
gonna have to bring A games to this.
Of course. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like console launches imminent in the year, generally E3's like banging.
And then we get to see the actual look of the PS4. Amazing.
Yes, I cannot wait. So I can prove GameSpot wrong.
There you go.
Hey guys, this is.
It doesn't look like it at all.
PlayStation
I was right, you little shits.
4. Hey
Moving on.
now, come on.
Moving on.
Of course.
Immortal Otaku 85.
How can I help you?
Tell us about Skyforge.
Skyforge.
What is Skyforge?
It is a European MMO, but that's not the important part. The important part is that Obsidian decided they would help a load online or interactive. Whoever the developer of Skyforge, they said they were going to help develop the game.
Okay.
And the problem with this is, Bethesda.
Obsidian.
Obsidian, thank you.
Somehow have a love for Bethesda right
because
now.
they've made so many Bethesda. Sorry, Obsidian has made so many Bethesda games, is what I should be saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, but because they've done MMOs, they haven't. This is the stupidest thing. Not to mention they're currently working on a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like They're trying to work on Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure they have a project going on for Bethesda somewhere. And
They're probably working in some ways on Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
And now they're going to try and take their hand into Skyforge.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you call overextension.
Yeah, it's bad business decisions to help.
This is how they're all
only-
going to end up mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, like they're gonna cut short on a bunch of things because they're so busy with all these.
That's
other-
actually a good point. Is a lot of these mediocre games have like multiple development studios working on 'em. I mean, just go.
That's always
Go
the case.
look at Colonial Marines. Not mediocre, horrible. It
Yeah,
had
but-
like 10
yeah, but
different
Gearbox
developers
was the
work-
one that made that.
No, they helped work on it. That's a common misconception.
Really?
So then, who was
Yeah.
working on it then?
Gearbox is pretty much on there in name.
Okay.
Let me look that up. That's actually
But
My point kind of still stands on that because that's
Yeah.
not always the case.
yeah.
Like a really good example is Chrono Trigger.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it turned out great.
Interesting, a Square and Enix combination that actually worked beforehand.
Amazing.
What? I didn't say that.
I'm
Anyone
surprised
else
we-
have anything else to say on Skyforge? This
Nah.
kind of seems like it's probably going to be mediocre.
We probably won't see it really because it is a European.
Wow.
So not much
MMO.
publicity.
So all of you in Europe, tweet us and tell us about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'd actually.
Go for
I'd
it.
actually like to hear about it. Actually.
Yes, please
so
do.
please send us some information.
And we'll say your tweet on the show.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
More than willing.
All right. Well, moving on to the next one. Captain,
Yes.
Forza. Specifically, Forza
Yeah.
5.
Well, looking at some of the news, Forza 5 has now pretty much said that they are going to make a game for the upcoming console for the Xbox. I don't know whether or not it's going to be on the 360 or not. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing it's probably going to be more of a next-gen console. I'm hoping for the best. If it's a whole lot like Forza 4, it's going to be. I hope it turns out to be a great game.
Wasn't Horizons the most recent one?
Yeah, Horizons was the least one. Yeah.
What if they did something more along the lines of...
I would hope that they tweak it a little bit. I mean, with Horizon, there was a little bit of problem. Like they changed a lot of the multiplayer around. It wasn't really a lot like the Forza 4 in many respects, where you could choose exactly what type of race style you wanted to go to. If you wanted to just have a class for A's, B's, C, D's. But I mean, they changed it to experienced drivers, which was kind of a neat idea. I thought that was more of that should have been the case with Forza 4, but I think they should have stick to a whole lot more of the original side of things when it came to making the next Forza. So I'm hoping that they kind of maybe put a little bit of both in. Put a little bit of Horizons in there with the difficulty and whether you should be placed with the intermediate, advanced, or the beginners. But also go back to the original playing style where you can choose whatever kind of race you want, no matter what.
I think that Forza should make an Event Horizon game. No, I'm not saying an Event Horizon like the movie. I'm saying like they should name it afterwards Event Horizon and then focus on making like space cars. Some space
Go
cars.
space cars. We're gonna put the first.
So basically make it a Wipeout clone?
Here you go. The first
Yeah,
DLC
but-
car is gonna be
but-
the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
There you go.
Yeah, but instead of
There you
like
go.
instead of turbo, it should be
Forza 5
warp
Blood
drive.
Dragon.
Activating Event Horizon warp drive.
Bad 80s cover and everything.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Goodness.
Oh, by the way, the main developers were actually Timegate, which closed down.
Okay.
Right after, pretty much
That's
right after.
Not a shock.
Check
This is for
6,
Colonial Marines.
Demiurge. How do you
Demiurge.
Demiurge? Okay. Gearboxes was also on. I don't think they had. I think they came in pretty late, is what I recall about it. So, but yeah, I believe Timegate was the main studio on that, which is why they shut down.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
go figure.
So when people make these claims like Gearbox is like, you know, they made this shitty game, it's like actually they co-developed a game out of 4 developers.
So
That
they're
doesn't
only
change
half at
anything,
fault.
though. They're still at fault.
True.
Yeah.
But it's like saying I'm going to put my name on a product and I had everything to do with it.
So taking full
Well,
responsibility.
when you
instead
do
of-
put your name on a product, you do have something to do with it. So they should still
True.
take some
Okay.
of the...
I mean, I'm fine with that.
and
It's,
then-
So far, many of their games.
So
are
now
not-
you just gave me 3 other names just to add to the list.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
Please,
all those
please
3.
do.
Yeah.
Well, Timegate closed,
Yeah.
so you can take that one off.
Yeah. So just 2 now.
3.
3.
3, 2.
Whatever.
We can't count.
Tell us about Guild Wars.
Guild Wars
Going
2
automated.
or 1? Oh, 1. Guild Wars 1, instead of closing their servers, they decided to do the right community choice and make the whole development and current working process of Guild Wars all automated. So that means all the festivals and all the events that will go on are completely just plugged in there by a computer, and they'll go on until essentially the timer says otherwise.
Okay.
They did have a development team before, like just one small team, but they pulled them off to now work on, Guild Wars 2 because obviously it's an old MMO. They really don't have anything else to give it.
So
And-
the automated Guild Wars one now, is that being run by the company or is that somebody privately running it?
It's still run by NCSoft.
Okay.
They just made it automated, so it pretty much works itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Which is it's good because it shows dedication from the
Shows
developer.
dedication to their community.
Exactly.
Good job,
Yeah.
guys. Good.
You're gonna get future business by people who still wanted to play
Your
Guild
original.
Wars 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
I don't know how hard and when you do take it down offline, you give tons of prior notice so people can enjoy their last couple months and say their goodbyes to people they knew in the MMO.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Makes
Just simply
sense.
enjoy the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of having to post on random forums asking for people.
Where are you guys?
That guy owes me money.
I still want my
close counts.
5 gold.
That guy's a troll. he camped my body forever. Super mad about it. Go.
He teabagged me.
He teabagged me. It was horrible.
So I teabagged him back because that's what a good gamer does.
There you go.
I hunted him down, killed him, and teabagged him.
Don't get mad. Get even. Get even with teabagging. Raw.
Okay.
All right. So, Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna duck and cover for a second.
Square has announced a HD remake of Final Fantasy VIII for the PC platform.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have to say to this, Square Enix, where is 6? Seriously?
All right, here comes the yellow.
Okay, this is what I don't get.
Prepare.
Okay, so here's what we do. We go through all these remakes over iOS and the DS and the PSP and all this good stuff. We go through 1, 2, 3, 4. We get up to 5 now on iOS, and they basically stop. So they lose 2 of some of the best Final Fantasy games in there to release one of the worst Final Fantasy games on there.
It could have been
So
13 part
I'm
2.
like, yeah, it could have been 13 part 2. I still would have been pissed.
Hey, they still think there's a little life
8
left in it.
sucks. Compared to 6, it sucks. Sucks ass. And I'm getting sick of this shit.
Poor
course.
business decisions.
Very poor business decision.
Oh,
It's
man.
stupid.
Well, yeah.
It's
Yeah, the
fucking
majority of the community talks about which 2 games in the franchise is 6 and 7.
And they choose
and
to pick
possibly
8.
10. But they chose 8 to do as an HD remake. What sense does that make?
They don't care because
Lenny.
they get cash.
No, it doesn't. Please explain to me what sense that makes.
They think there's some life left in
There is no life left in it.
it. They think they can get more
If
sales
there
on it.
was, people would still be talking about it. The only reason why we're talking about it is because they made the dumbass decision to release it.
They think that it's a good idea. That's all we have to believe as the gamers. They made a good idea.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
You can't even say that with
No,
a
I
straight
can't.
face.
You
because
can't
I'm
say
playing
with straight
devil's
face.
advocate.
Bullshit.
I'm playing devil's
Yes, I
advocate.
can
Yes,
tell. I can tell you playing devil's advocate to piss me off. Jackass.
It's worth it. It's
Whatever.
worth it.
What is better than watching you rage uncontrollably?
Dude, that's
Watch
entertainment
me
in
play
itself.
something I'm raging about.
Yeah, that okay.
Oh yeah, because you'll be raging while you play it, and
Yeah.
you'll still keep
Throw the
playing.
controller.
You'll still keep playing.
I chuck it out the window.
Ah!
You'll toss the controller, pick it back
Oh,
up, and start playing it again.
All I'm saying is get some sense. Moving on.
I don't think they had sense to begin with, but
They had sense to begin with. They just lost it somewhere.
Coming from the guy who still has a Final Fantasy 13 X2.
13X.
Sorry, 13.2. Whatever the fuck it is. Whatever the fuck that thing
That's
is.
new. So how come
13.
He's got a poster.
13X2.
He's got a poster of his.
Yes, I do. And you know why that is? Because I don't have another Final Fantasy poster to put up in my room. There you go. All right, moving on anyway.
What do I so angry?
Sanctum 2.
Sanctum 2. Sanctum 1 is... Sanctum itself is a... it's kind of like a first-person shooter tower defense game is the best way to put it.
First person shooter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you set up towers and you have waves that come at you, and you're trying to protect the core is what you're trying to protect. And you set up all these turrets, and then you actually have an active part in the the
By the way,
defense.
Brian, I don't want to cut you off here, but Pastana on Twitter says check out Gamer Experts at Royal Crown Studios at Gamers Unrated. So just wanted to give you a shout out.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thanks for your tweet. All right. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
It is perfectly fine. Anytime we can talk to fans.
Exactly.
Ladies.
Ladies.
There we go.
Anyway. So, you actually participate in the defense. You get weapons and you get abilities. I think they're abilities. I don't remember. But you do get weapons, and you do get to play an active role, and there's kind of like a little level progression, so it makes you a little more deadly and allows some unlocking of weapons further on to actually present it with a little more interest. They got some cool weapons like slow fields and stasis things and like lightning shooting guns.
This almost sounds a whole lot like Team Fortress. Kind of the idea of it, of like
It kind of is, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. It's a sci-fi. It's got a sci-fi feel to it. So
Okay.
everything kind of like magically builds itself right up.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
I have not
but-
played the first Sanctum.
But
So.
I didn't really get on to Sanctum 2. But Sanctum 2 kind of modifies this a little more, and you have classes, specific classes for that you can choose.
So it makes it more like an RPG.
So it makes it a little more. Well, each class kind of has their own. They complement other classes, so it makes it a little better to be playing with other people.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
and that's fine because actually Sanctum 1 didn't rely a lot on multiplayer, but a lot of people used it for a multiplayer purpose.
yeah.
So it's kind of casual in a way, but it's really addicting if you get into it.
Well, awesome, Sanctum. We applaud you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So check out Sanctum 2. I know I'm going to, and from what I've been reading on reviews, it's pretty good.
So this is just for the PC, or
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is just for the PC on Steam. You can get it there, or I'm pretty sure you can also get it off a website somewhere that they have.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, that pretty much finishes the minor news of the week.
minor news? Yeah, we still got drum roll,
So,
please.
for those of you that have been living under a rock for like the last, I don't know, few days or so,
few days.
Xbox revealed their latest achievement.
It's not the
Xbox
Infinity,
One.
right?
No, not the Infinity.
Oh, really?
The Xbox One.
Go.
So they've now unveiled their next-gen console. So now we have officially moved into what I call the next-gen console war. Xbox One versus PS4 versus the Wii U versus the PC. So,
Is the Wii U really considered in this fight? I mean, it's kind of last generation.
well, we do kind of have to. 'cause
All
it
right,
did
well,
come
we'll
We
put it-
have to give them credit for at least making something.
This is Nintendo's competition for it. It might be ill-fated competition,
Yeah,
but it is
but-
competition.
I don't even know anymore. It feels like Nintendo tried to carve themselves out a little space where no one bothers them.
Well, it's not working. The sign of the 7 Wii U's that are still sitting under the thing at Target should prove that. But
Of course.
anywho. Xbox One. Did anybody see the press conference at all?
I did. Saw
What did
live.
you think?
I thought it was mediocre, full of stuff I didn't give a crap about. the new Xbox One looks ridiculously
Looks like
big.
a VCR.
It's
Yeah, it
huge.
does look like a
It's
VCR.
fucking- It's like this
Like
size.
Sega CD
maybe,
size
maybe
big.
bigger. Like the actual console
Yeah.
itself is
Is the
about
box,
that
With
size.
beams on the
Yeah.
side of it. That's the only thing that's different. It had beams on the side.
I mean, not to mention that it comes with a pretty much their Kinect's big brother. I don't even know what to call it yet.
Well,
Yeah.
interesting you should say that because Microsoft had actually said that the Xbox One will not be able to function without
The
the
Kinect.
Kinect attached.
Oh, that's
So
a good
now it's
business
being forced
decision.
on. So it's being forced on you.
That's a good business decision. Oh,
And
I'm
so-
excited.
And apparently they've made it all voice activated. So if you say Xbox on, it turns itself on.
Oh man.
Because we've all wanted to do that. You know, there's just not a button on consoles already that you can just push and enjoy through a
Yeah.
controller interface.
You know, I've gotten to the point where my finger's too lazy. I don't want to push the button anymore. I'll just tuck to my Xbox.
Yeah, and then
It's-
yet you
it's
have to
pretty
move
sad.
with the freaking Kinect. What sense does that make?
Yeah,
Like-
that's actually the best point about it.
That
It's
makes
like,
absolutely not a lick of sense.
oh my god. Well, you still get a controller though. Streamlined.
Which, by the way, that controller is ugly.
Oh, is it like the bear claw?
It's pretty ugly looking.
Ooh.
Anyone that hasn't seen it, it's not very appealing looking at all.
I mean, it looks sleeker, but yeah, it doesn't look.
It looks
great.
sleeker, but it's not really one of those things. It's like it's sort of
Well, I mean,
It's like the Trident.
X-
You don't
yeah.
the Xbox is all supposed to be superficial, my friend.
Well, of course, that's how it
Yeah.
works. And you could probably
Oh.
tell that by the people that were.
Yeah, actually, did
stage.
anyone happen to notice the fact that every talker was like a pretty boy or all dolled up girl? It was just like, so are we going to care about the games or are we going to care about what everyone thinks of us?
And that was the funny part because watching Twitter while that conference was going on, many of people were disappointed with the fact that Xbox spent the majority of their press conference, their reveal event, talking about things that had absolutely nothing to do with games.
NFL contracts so you can watch games on Xbox. Fucking EA Sports.
And at this point, it is one of those things where many people, it's been shown, that use their Xbox and purchase one mainly for other things besides games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Netflix, HBO Go, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would figure for an event like this, you know, you want to build up hype with everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, you know, the PS4's reveal event earlier this year in February, where it had a section where they talked specifically about games. But at the same time, they had at the beginning that whole social aspect of it, where they were talking about the cloud computing, the share button to being able to share the games that you play on there. And it was one of those things where it's like they tied it in well. Whereas with the Xbox One, it was very much like, look at all the other stuff that you can do with this. And it does make you question if they actually really have any games set for it at all. Because
That is
reportedly
a worry.
they say that they have 15 exclusives lined up, but they didn't announce any.
Except for the, what was it?
Forza.
No. It was the Quantum
Quantum Break.
Break?
I think that was
Jump?
it.
Something.
Quantum Break. Let me
Okay,
check real fast while you're talking.
Yeah, they announced their Quantum game from same developers of Alan Wake. What was their name?
Oh shoot.
I'm just gonna keep going on.
Yeah.
But as soon as they put up like sports and like EA came out talking about EA Sports and all this stuff, I was like, oh, so they're not gonna talk about games? I got up, took a piss, came back, still talking about sports. I was pretty pissed. There was just so little having to do with any kind of new IP, new games, new interesting things. Well, interesting to me, because that's a relative term. But
Well,
what
I mean-
did you think? Because you love Xbox.
You're the Xbox guy here, so.
I was disappointed, to be quite honest. I mean, first of all, I do not want to buy another VCR. I'm sorry. It looks too much like a VCR. It's a glorified VCR.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
a brick.
and at best they're probably going to support like 4 players to a game.
That box could support a house. I'm telling you, it's just.
And you know the problem with that is people are gonna if there's like a little party going on, like I know I have LAN parties here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have like 12 people at a party and you want them all to play the same game, they're all going to have to link up on 3 different Xboxes.
On 3 different, yeah.
Those things are fucking huge.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind lugging my computer around, but that's only because that computer's fucking awesome. Actually, it's right
I mean,
under me.
it does a whole lot more than I would assume that the new Xbox
of
would
course.
do. So you have more reason to actually lug that thing around more than the Xbox.
Yeah. Because I can play games while I'm streaming music and checking things online. It's better.
Another big thing was
And the interface is better too.
checking this is that you would figure Xbox just over the last generation, their big thing is that not only do they have the big title games, but they also have the big support of indie games.
Yes.
Nowadays we have Steam, where if you have a Kickstarter and Steam, you could pretty much release your own game. Basically, you don't need a publisher.
If you set up either a Kickstarter, a file for Greenlight to put your game up, you have an outlet.
But the funny part about that is that Game Informer when they reported on the event,
Forder.
yes, Informer. Sorry, indies, you'll still need a publisher for Xbox Live.
Really?
Not surprising.
And it does kind of make you think is that we're at a point now where indie games really they're different than what publishers are looking for.
Yeah.
We've kind of reached that point where it's a big divide now. So it would make sense to just have indie developers post up their games, like with Steam, for example.
I actually like to look at this akin to all the people who are well off financially and all the people who are barely breaking even in terms of money. And it's like indie games are at the bottom, and all the people who have all this money are trying to make the world more better for people who have money. So what ends up happening is if you look at it from like Microsoft versus indie games, and probably even PlayStation as well, because I don't think they have a.
Well, indie hasn't said. PlayStation hasn't said anything on that, but the thing is that, I mean,
aren't they supporting?
Yeah, they
are
big supporting on indie games this time. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like you would figure, okay, so it looks like Sony learned what worked for the 360, and Xbox is kind of like, well, we're gonna leave that behind, and we're gonna try and beat Nintendo at their own game.
Well, it's just like make the world harder for people who have to get through it in this. Basically, the process in which you have to get in, they make it harder for you to even complete the process.
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say.
And that's fine, but the thing is that in a market like this, where you're releasing a console, you want to get a lot of hype built up onto this.
Yeah.
So you want to bring in as much people to buy it, rather than kick everybody out.
Yeah,
true.
But it also is saying, why make it harder to get new blood into an industry? Why would you want to do that? Because you said you don't want to get it's fine if they make it harder.
I don't think that they actually necessarily want to do that, though. I mean, they may be doing it like.
I guess
I'm not understanding what you're saying, basically.
Because you kind of you said it in a way that was like you said no, that's fine when I said they're making it harder for like the people who are trying to get into this industry.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
Okay, I didn't know I said that, but all right.
But I mean,
I'm sure the internet will berate me if I did.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about some sort of speculation now, especially on the how Microsoft is working on the used games, and this might be pure speculation, but they were talking about possibly having installation charges on a lot of the used games. What's with that?
Secondhand games. Basically, they've said that not only is Xbox One not backwards compatible with your 360 games,
that's gonna be
but
fun.
it is also any used games that you purchase, because you have to install the games onto your Xbox One. Any used ones, they're going to charge a fee.
Joy.
So basically, at this point, it's where Microsoft about a year ago said that no, we're not going to charge you to play used games on the system. So basically, they turned it around and said, "Oh, but we are."
So this
Did
literally
you
is
also
turned
happen to mention where you got the information? So we're just citing sources
Which information
for the paying
for the paying?
used games. It was Eurogamer.
but essentially
Yes, Eurogamer.net.
But essentially, what they're doing is they're turning each Xbox into a cash mine, because not only are you going to have to pay for Xbox Live Gold membership, probably, but you're also going to have Xbox Live points. But then also, if you buy
Got
a
rid of
used game,
points.
oh,
Got rid of points.
that's
Remember.
right. But you still have to have cash on it.
Yeah.
So that's we'll keep going on from there. I can talk about that later.
Oh,
but
when it comes down right to it, is you have a game like, let's say for example, you buy an Xbox One and you get Call of Duty Ghosts used for $25.
yeah,
You go home. You have to pay for Xbox Live to go online.
so that's already about $25
Let's be
a
honest
month
here.
or
That's
more.
what people use. So that's already adding a cost on there. Plus now whatever fee you have to pay for the used game. So by the time you're done adding all that up, you might as well just bought it new.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's what they're trying to go for, which is really, it's just bullshit.
I mean,
It really
yeah,
is.
that
But there's
is.
more
They
hoops
want you to
jump
buy it
through
new.
at this point.
They want you to buy it new.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
That's
like
the issue, though.
when I started off with the Xbox Series, I thought it was great, and the 360 hadn't disappointed me. It had a couple disappointments, but nothing like this. This is just insane. It really is. I mean, like having so much money put into this console, they're like, oh, we're gonna make you guys, we're gonna siphon out even more money than before.
At this point, I feel like it's more they're pushing to see how much money they can pull out of your pocket more than anything else, and I don't think that's a really good idea at all.
It's a poor business decision.
Well, I think the total
Well,
thing.
no, it's not. If they make the money, then
Well,
it's
if,
to
I mean,
wrap
if they
this-
make the money,
well,
yeah.
if they make the money.
exactly.
And the funny part, speaking about the business portion of it, I guess the whole thing to sum it up is that Sony stock went up 19 points after the Microsoft reveal. So
I wonder
Yes.
why.
It's actually quite funny.
I wonder why.
why.
So to kind of close this out, who do you think is going to win? Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and PCs are kind of on their own category. So I think.
Well,
they're
they're growing. That is.
Yeah.
That's.
so that is a
that's a
reasonable
fact.
market.
Yeah.
Who do you think is probably going to win this out?
Out of the consoles, at least, like the main, like Nintendo, the Microsoft, and the Sony, PlayStation. PlayStation's gonna go.
Yeah. PlayStation, I'd actually have to go with them. As for PCs, since I am the resident specialist in that, I'd say we'll probably see continuous growth just because I think gamers who really just enjoy games and want like a stable, secure kind of not a hardware. I'm talking about just like the market in general would just kind of go to a PC because it's all there already. And you've got the interface that you're normally used to. Like, I'm pretty sure most of us use PCs, irregardless
Especially
of whether
if
it's
you're a gamer. I mean,
Yeah.
irregardless of whether it's playing games. But
I mean, you use Microsoft.
you know
Word,
how to
you
use you know how to use a keyboard. You know
Yeah,
how to
all
use
consoles
a
are
mouse.
PCs really
Yeah.
anyway, just optimized for gaming.
Yeah.
And it's just like I can see it growing as for the reason that when you have consistently bad business decisions that you have to rely solely on the company like Sony or Microsoft, because let's face it, you have no control over the console because they're the ones who bring the software, they're the ones who do all this stuff, and you could argue about that with PC, but the fact of the matter is you can find open source operating systems if you really want to look for it.
I think that's the big plus with the whole thing of indie developers at this point, because that's almost in a way kind of like what you're talking about here, is that you can get the big games, but you can also get the indie ones.
Yeah, you can also get the
And
small
I think
stuff.
that's the whole point of where I think whoever does indies right this gen is probably going to be the top dog. And from what it looks like, I don't think Xbox is going to be the one to do
No.
that.
Not really.
So on to myself. Being a happy PlayStation owner, for
Try not to look so smug.
my whole thing is that I was a little anxious to see how Xbox was going to deal with this, and it looks like Xbox is trying to go the way, basically beat Nintendo at their own game and win that casual market over, especially with the Kinect thing.
Yeah.
But also they're going for the audience of we want people that watch a lot of sports, watch a lot of movies, do a lot of this, do a lot of that.
One console to rule everything in their
Exactly.
house. Yeah.
And the thing is that that might work for some, but I think the people that want games specifically probably aren't going to go for that.
Yeah.
Because generally what I think is probably going to happen is that at the beginning of the generation is going to be kind of equal, and then as I see more of the gamers going towards PlayStation's going to end up getting more exclusives. They got more DLC stuff, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And Microsoft's going to have to catch up.
I mean, unless all these poor business decisions get changed or whatever, I mean, like I supported Xbox for a while, but after this point, I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore.
So if it isn't obvious already, obviously I think PlayStation's going to win this one.
Yeah.
So anything else you guys wanted to add on to that?
I think we've covered most of it. It's pretty much up to other people to interpret it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, how about we tell people how to get to us?
All right.
All right. Captain?
You can find me on Steam as Captain Obliteration. It's just going to be CPT Obliteration if you guys have been having trouble with that. You can also find me, you can email me on my Gmail, which is just gucaptainobliteration@gmail.com. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube as well.
Yep. Immortal Otaku?
You can find me on Twitter at ImmortalOtaku85. I don't really even know if I want to say it about Tumblr because I haven't been posting on it in a while. Yeah. I probably will at some point. It's just like whatever.
Whatever.
How about Steam?
You can find me on Steam, Immortal Otaku 85. Yeah, I think that's the only way. Please send me an email at immortalotaku85@gmail. And saying that you would like to be my friend, because I kind of do like prior notice, because I'm not one of those people who's just like friend. Because you eventually get a whole bunch of undesirable things in your Apple basket.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Steel Tamashi. You can find me on Steam, Steel Tamashi. You can also email me at steeltamashi@gmail.com, and also follow my blog, Soul of Steel, video games, anime, and more, at steeltamashi.tumblr.com. Then you can also follow the show's blog at gamersunrated.libsyn.com, where we also post up the episodes. You can also watch us live Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern at royalcrownstudios.com/radio. You can also, in case you missed one of our live shows, also watch them on YouTube at www.youtube.com/user/gamersunratedShow. You can also call us and leave us a voicemail, our Google Voice number at 413-6.
We actually have a Google
show.
Voice number now?
Yes, you have a
Yeah,
Google
That
Voice.
is awesome.
He said that last.
He did?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, my
We're all
memory's bad.
we're all
You leave
true
us-
connected.
You can leave us voicemails now, yeah. 413-6GU show. And you can also find all of that contact information once again at gamersunrated.libsyn.com. And you can also find us on Twitter at gamersunrated.
Any other ones?
No, I think that's about it. Oh, by the way, we have a Pinterest and
We also have a Kickstarter going on. Please
There we go.
support it.
Please support the show. We need your money.
We would really like the support.
We're like
Give us
EA.
your money.
We're like EA, but you're not going to get anything from us.
Here's a shirt.
EA, we're role models for you.
Here's a shirt.
Or you can have an autographed shirt by us.
We'll send Immortal Otaku to your house for a day.
I'll do all the yard work.
We're also doing a
There you
dating
go.
service now, you know.
Yes, exactly. We're all single. You know, we're all in the market.
Ladies.
So, ladies. All right. Well, anybody else have anything else to say?
Nope.
I
All right.
think we're good at all the internet whoring.
Yep,
Cool. All right.
We're good
Well,
to go.
I am Steel Tamashi,
Immortal Otaku 85.
And Captain Obliteration.
and you have been watching Gamers Unrated.
See you
Good night,
next time.
everyone.
See you around.